Hello, hello, welcome. We are here. House of the Dragon season 3 is has just finished. I'm joined by Carmine of Red Team Review. How are you doing, Carmine?
I'm doing all right. I'm on the stream with you, and I'm also watching the All Whites play their game here against I think Iran, or who are they playing here?
I
Playing somebody.
you watched World Cup instead of House of the Dragon. That's yeah.
Yes, I'm watching the All Whites play Egypt. For those of you who are wondering, the New Zealand team, their soccer team is called the All Whites. Their rugby team is the All Blacks.
Oh, oh. So you're
Yeah,
saying there's no
it,
Maori
it
on the squad? Um,
I have no idea. It's something soccer teams do often. The Portugal team does it. They're called the All Losers. So I'm sorry, continue.
mm. Still better about colonialism of Brazil. Is that it? Is that it?
No.
So, House of the Dragon, season 3. We just finished the episode. People are still reeling. How what was your overall opinion of this episode?
Um, the opinion still stands is that, and you were so right last week, man. They really should have focused more on Gullet Team. Like the episode should have
Yeah.
been dripping with Jace and Bela and Corlys and Alan, but they were so focused on remaking that episode 9 they didn't get a chance to make that.
Yes, now that you mention it, they how dirty they did Bela is even worse than how dirty they did Jace, in the sense that, like, it's really, I mean, I guess we don't need it as much because Bela doesn't die, but like it could have, there could have been much more because she's in the battle. We should have been caring about the battle, right? So I do think they did a good job, like, reestablishing our time with Corlys and Sun, and they reestablished some time with Thailand and Philosophy Tube, right? That's all done well. But man, it's just more time with Jace and more time with Bela. They did do a lot of time with Wet Blanket Rhaena, but Wet Blanket Rhaena, you're like, what is she even doing in the battle? She's just kind of acting chaotically, and no one likes Wet Blanket Rhaena, and we want Nettles, you know. But the rest of the episode, yeah, they were just updating everybody on what people are doing, and what are you guys doing? Not much. Not much. What are you doing, Ulf the White and Hugh the Hammer and Adam Valarian? Like, not much. We get to see Ulf take a shit. That was nice.
Nice subtle nod to Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and Ira
Yeah, it's
Parker.
true. Yeah. What else?
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
before we started, we were just talking about how towards the end of the intro, subtle nod to Blackfire Rebellion with the Black Dragon, the Black Targaryen.
Was it? I
I
don't know.
mean,
I'd have to rewatch that.
the only other time we ever got a subtle nod to Blackfire stuff was in episode 1. The announcer of the tourney had a black dragon on his clothes, which is a mistake on their part. But I mean, it could be a subtle nod to
I think
Blackfire
it's like,
Rebellion.
I think it no, I think at this period, because the Blackfires are not a thing yet. It's sort of like when your basketball team plays like away games and home games and they inverse the colors. I think just, occasionally you're just like, you know what, fuck it. Let's do an inverted Targaryen Black Dragon sigil. Like, why not? You know,
I
Red
don't know.
Dragon sigil.
Choosing to have it at the very end, like it's on a tapestry, waving towards the end. It's almost as if like they're paving the way for it, which sure could be the next spin-off show. Maybe House of the
I
Dragon
mean,
could
it's
continue on.
70 years later, man. It's 70 years later. Like, if they ended it with like Oakenfist, like, that would be one thing. But Blackfires are 70 years later. But I don't know. I do you th- is it is was it
Hold
implied
on
that
one
Rhaena's,
second.
yeah.
One sec. What's the time from House of the Dragon to Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Isn't it also kind of like 70, 80 years, give or
Yeah, it's
take?
70 years, 70 odd years. I mean,
Okay.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms places the Blackfire Rebellion in some weird times. They move it forward some years and such. But
I'm just saying it could be a subtle nod. Otherwise, why is it there? Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
because it's just the color black. I mean,
Oh,
they just did it in the color black. That's all.
okay.
That's my
Yeah.
thing. Was it implied at the end that Rhaena was the one that caused Jace to die? I mean, he does like look back for a moment and then they like shoot the dragon. But Carmine and I were talking about this today, and we're like, would he have been hit anyway? Are we supposed to think about
Possibly,
that?
possibly, but there's too many witnesses of a rogue dragon flying around, and I don't, I don't want to spoil this for the audience, but
If
I'll
if
message
it
it to
were
you.
any other piece of fiction, I'd be like, the only narrative purpose of Rhaena being there and out of control would be to cause Jace to die. But this is House of the Dragon, and just shit happens, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. If it were any other story, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Like, they totally, like, Nettles was put in there just so that we could think that she was the cause of Jace's death, and that would create some sort of division between um, eventually Rhaena and Rhaenyra, and it would give Rhaenyra a reason to hate her outside of fearing that she's going to have sex with Daemon, which is the Nettles motivation, right? Like, she's jealous of a potential Nettles Daemon romance, and that's the source material's reason for it. But we can't have, well, I mean, we can, considering that in this episode we had that smooch between Alicent and Aemond, but the idea is that we're less likely to see the romance between father and daughter, and so we need some other motivation for Rhaenyra to turn on wet blanket Rhaena. Um,
So, I won't spoil this for the audience, but I sent it to you privately. That person knows about that. Uh, and the person in the stream chat said it best. Jace flies low because of Rhaena and Sheepstealer, and there are many witnesses to a rogue dragon appearing and attacking Velaryons. So everyone knows there's a rogue dragon there. Who's the writer? Only Bela knows, and maybe Jace, but he's gone. But Bela at one point says, "That's my
I see,
sister,"
I see.
and Bela's the only person that knows at this
Because
point.
Jace dies. I mean, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the thousands of men in the Triarchy and Valarian fleet, right? When they see them,
No, actually, believe it or not, no, they would not. I
it
can
would be like,
say
dude, there's a
for
woman up there with like silver dreadlocks. No,
to be
no.
fair, from House of Dragons season 2 episode 7, we see a lot of people with silver hair. So, Sheep Stealer is moving too fast.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to hit the dragons with their spears. I mean, you'd think they'd have some eyes on them, but fine, whatever. I'm gonna let it go. It's fine, but nonetheless, Nettles would have been a million times better than Wet Blanket Rhaena. I think Wet Blanket Rhaena is just the worst character. And while Nettles is just, she would just be so different and alive. You know, because at this point, a lot of the characters all run together. You know, they're all silver hair, royal, Targaryens who are kind of interchangeable. I mean, Ulf the White and Hugh the Hammer are a little different, but they're kind of interchangeable. Um, Adam of Hull is just Boy Scout. Uh, you know, it's just degrees of craziness on our Targaryens. It's just, how crazy each one is. Like, how, not even our Targaryens, just degree of insanity on all of our characters who just act recklessly and out of character every episode. Like, what's Daemon gonna do? I don't know. What's Alicent gonna do? I don't know. What's Aemon gonna do? I don't know. What's Helaena gonna do? I don't know. What's Rhaenyra gonna do? I don't know. Like, throughout an episode, they're gonna be doing something completely different. There's no prediction of anybody based on their character. But this episode, the battle was fucking great. Second half of the episode was fantastic. The first half was just, what were they doing? How to just twiddling their thumbs. Should have just cut that first half and just had the whole thing be the Battle of the Gullet and the characters leading into the Battle of the Gullet. So, and I would have been happy.
Before I forget this, earlier today, Press and I watched the episode before it aired, and we did a commentary track. It'll be on Patreon and YouTube memberships. But you brought something up about how everyone's yelling Dracarys. Do you want to tell people about this whole thing and how Daenerys comes to that conclusion?
Well, I mean, I noticed in the preview that I hadn't thought about it until today, but I noticed in the preview, like, Aemond was yelling Dracarys last season and all this stuff. But they shouldn't really be yelling Dracarys. Like, Dracarys was specifically chosen by Daenerys in the books because it was a word that someone would not say by accident, that it was an unusual word. And that for anyone to have an activation word for their dragon, would they all settle for Dragonfire? Like, why not just fire or shoot or kill them or light them up or something? You know, like, there's a million options on what you would say if you wanted, you know, sick 'em, on if you'd like your dragon to spew fire on somebody, you know, attack, you know, probably attack, you know, attack, you know, would be. So Dracarys, like, they're all just choosing it independently. And then Daenerys discovers it also independently. They all settle on the same word. Or I guess you could argue that all the characters in House of the Dragon are like copying each other, that somehow, I mean, you could say that, right? Because I heard Rhaena say it. So you could argue that she listened to her dad and mom and they were saying it. But where did Aemond learn it? Like, who did Aemond learn Dracarys from? If he said it last season, you know, was he hanging out with Daemon and learned it from him, you know? And why would Daenerys come to the same word and things like that? It obviously, this is like nitpicking, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny that, like, they've all come.
Who did Laenor learn it from? Because when Laenor was in the final battle in the Stepstones and he was on Sea Smoke, he yelled Dracarys.
Well, he could learn it from Daemon because they are fighting together.
Sure. I told you my theory, which is, like, maybe once you sync up with the dragon telepathically, like, the command just, like, comes to your head.
That it's actually the dragon. Like, dragons know High Valyrian.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Daenerys' hatchling knew High Valyrian, and it just, like, puts the word in Dany's head.
What do you want? What do you want the other commands to be? Fire blast, flamethrower? Like, what do you want them to say?
I mean, like I say, attack. It could, like, you would have independently chosen anything. Like, why would you choose Dragonfire? Like, Danny specifically thinks it's an unusual word that someone will not accidentally say. Right?
Sure, but I
mean, you could argue Quaithe put it in Dany's head. Quaithe put it in Dany's head, and Quaithe was doing a whole bunch of research in her book, and it said, like, in the book, Daemon, the Rogue Prince, liked to say Dracarys when he rode his dragon. Then she passed it on to Dany, and but Quaithe isn't in the show. Quaithe isn't really very important, so I don't know. Prophecy, time traveling prophecy stuff. You know, I don't know, but
you'll have to save it for the fanfic.
Why they say it. But man, wouldn't it have been so much cooler if it were Nettles rather than fucking wet blanket Rhaena. She's such a boring
Someone
character.
was trying to explain to me how the reason it wasn't Nettles, not only because Ryan Condal was saying how it's a family story, but also because Nettles in the book has dark skin. And the whole thing about Nettles is that she challenges Targaryen propaganda and supremacy.
Yeah.
She's clearly not of Valyrian descent. If you had Nettles here, you could always argue that no, she does have Valyrian descent. Clearly, Corlys could have been her dad, no problem, or Laenor, no problem.
Right. I mean,
So
I just think also just the character of Nettles having this like young, crazy girl would just be different. Having somebody different around. I mean, I like the dragon seeds. They're a little different. They're from the other characters. I suppose it's good to have them there. As a change of pace from all the characters that might be going around saying what were the things they said, clutching their doublets, or friendship is cloaked in it's a deception cloaked in a stale friendship, all this like clumsy trying to sound old-timey language. Like the dragon seeds are a little refreshing for that in that they actually talk normally, but and mix it up compared to the other characters who are kind of all, and let's be honest, most of the characters in House of the Dragon are a little stiff. They're a little stiff and proper. So a show Hugh the Hammer seems like a good person. What do you think will happen to make him turn cloak? Also, do you plan to do more enhanced fan fiction chapters? On the first part, Hugh Hammer. Here's the thing, is in season 2, Hugh Hammer has a scene with his wife where he says, I'm going to do all this to make you a lady. And she says, I don't want to be a lady and I don't want to be a widow. And he's like, whatever, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. More or less, that's what happens in the scene. I can't remember exactly, but it was something like that. I remember the line, I don't want to be a lady and I don't want to be a widow. And so this was interesting in that I was coming back and Ulf was had the same desire. He wanted to be a lord and he wanted a castle. So, I mean, and even though like Hugh the Hammer smirks at his stupidity, it's notably the exact same motivation that Hugh the Hammer had in season 2. They both want castles. They both want lordships, and they're going to be promised lordships later. And, and so it was established, despite the fact that his wife said, I don't want this shit. He's still going to fucking do it, because he wants to make his wife a lady. And so that's it. Like Ulf wants to be a lord. Hugh wants to make his wife a lady. It's the same thing. They need a castle for that. And so it's going to be as simple as that. He's there. The Greens are going to offer them lordships, and they're going to take it. They've established here that Adam of Hull is like, you dumbass, you don't get a lordship from running a dragon. They feel cheated. They want their lordship. That this scene was seeding it as much as I think pretty heavy-handed. Like that's we're not going to have that many dragon seed scenes up to Tumbleton. Like you can probably count the number of dragon seed chatting with each other scenes that we're going to have over the course of the season. So they were given their motivation here. They want a lordship, and last season, Hugh said he did, and here Ulf says he does too. So right there's betrayal, kind of all set up. Now, as for the enhanced fanfic chapters, now obviously like Jordan, the guy who did the enhanced fanfic Asha chapter, that's his thing. He does. It's a lot of work. I have no idea if he chooses to do another. It's kind of all on him. Now, what I have thought about is like, if and when the fanfic Winds of Winter is done, then maybe I'd start thinking about like enhancing things. I don't know, like trying to do something with sounds and thinking about that, or try to figure out a way to animate things or something. Who knows? But then that'll take time away from fanfic Dream of Spring. But these thoughts are always in my head, but it's years off. It's years off to that. The first step is to get the fanfic Winds of Winter done. And so that's baby steps to that. But I always think about like once it's done, like wouldn't it be cool if I did this? Wouldn't it be cool if I did that? So we'll see. But yeah, there's no plans for it. I mean, unless Jordan chooses to do that, but it's a lot of work on his part. So we'll see. Maybe he will in the future. I have no idea, but we'll see. But I'd like to eventually, if we get to the point where the fanfic is done and it's where we like it, that then maybe to have some sort of additional thing done, whether it be animation or more sound or more background music and sound effects and things like that. Rhyme Redwine was a bad hand because he was illiterate. That's also why we know almost nothing about him. He couldn't record his own deeds in the White Book. So what Blake is getting at here is one of the big faults of Fire and Blood, which if you know me, you know that I fucking am not a huge fan of Fire and Blood, and I will talk about its faults a lot. But one of the big faults I have of Fire and Blood is that in the main series, Rhyme Redwine is considered one of the greatest knights in history. Like when you think about, like, literally when you're talking about thousands and thousands of years, okay, on who the greatest knights are, they think about him. Now, granted, so for instance, in Brand 2, when he thinks about the greatest Kingsguard, he thinks Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, Sir Rhyme Redwine, Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight. Now, granted, this is before Serwyn of the Mirror Shield was retconned as an Age of Heroes character. So I guess, maybe we could just say limited to the greatest of Kingsguard. Okay, 300 years. And then in Eddard 7, he says that the days like Rhyme Redwine and Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight, greatest ever. Lady, I've never been a hero. No Rhyme Redwine, no Barristan the Bold. So but then we said the heroes from songs, Florian and Sir Rhyme Redwine and Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight. Whoa, he's up there with Florian the Fool. Sir Rhyme Redwine was the greatest knight of his day and one of the worst hands to ever serve a king. Okay. Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight, Sir Rhyme Redwine. The singers sing of Sir Rhyme Redwine, Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight. This is the thing. It's just like, I'm the young dragon. I'm Sir Rhyme Redwine. Like, people fucking think Rhyme Redwine is the greatest. Now, what did he do that was so great? What did he do that put him on the same level as Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight, who defended his sister's honor in a trial by combat? What did he do that put him up there with Barristan the Bold, who slew Maelys the Monstrous during the Ninepenny Kings and rescued King Aerys from Duskendale? What did he do? Like, that made him the greatest knight of his day And also, if you look back 300 years, in the top 3 knights, the top 3 knights of the past 300 years, what did he fucking do? Likewise, what did he do that made him a bad hand? What did he do? What single thing did he do that was bad? Just one thing. Just one fucking thing that he did bad. Just give me one. Just give me one fucking thing. Nothing. There's nothing in Fire and Blood about anything that he did good, anything that he did bad. Just one fucking thing. Nothing. We have nothing. Now, he's saying that he's illiterate, but the problem is all of the characters in story know what he did. Now, we don't know, like, and it's not in Fire and Blood, but apparently everybody else fucking knows what he did. Like, maesters are surrounding him. They're keeping histories, letters, stuff like that.
This happens often, by the way, in Ice and Fire in the main series, specifically with Summerhall. Everyone seems to know what happened at Summerhall.
Oh, no, but no one talks about Summerhall. Everyone's like dancing around it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're kind of like, well, everyone knows this story, so we're not going to go into it. Like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not going to go into this now because this is well known. And you're like, is it? You know? Some of the Roman histories have this happen, but they're like, everybody knows about the pro-Nero histories. And everybody like, do we? Because there's no pro-Nero histories that have survived. But like, they're writers that wrote like, everyone knows about the pro-Nero histories, so we won't summarize them here. And you're like, okay. So, I don't know. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, was Rhyme Redwine illiterate? That would be, I mean, a highborn man to be illiterate from House Redwine? It's doubtful. Very doubtful that would happen. I mean, he's we have no evidence of that. But the thing is that everybody does know his history. That's the problem. Everyone does know his history, and they think it's so great that he's up there with Aemon the Dragon Knight and Barristan the Bold. So unfortunately, I mean, I would love a better explanation of why we get nothing. I'm gonna like, was he even now I feel like bringing up Fire and Blood again because it's just so ridiculous. How many times? Let's see if like how many times he's even mentioned in Fire and Blood. It tells him he does pretty well at attorney. And he discovers Sir lusty Lucamore Strong, and brought his attention to the Lord Commander, who turned him in, and then they gelded him. That's really not something that you'd think you'd get put in songs for. He rouses the king to tell him that their daughter died. He was a champion again at attorney. He was him and Clement Crabbe was that's it. Nothing. They even said they created the death of the legendary Sir Rhyme Redwine. Well, why was he legendary? Give me something. Besides winning a few tourneys, what the fuck did he do? That was so good or so bad. to have Rhaenyra hostage against her own will is ridiculous. I mean, yes, I don't think the logic that Jace gave to him was very good. Like, you've got to lock her in the room. Your life for hers. And it's like, how are those two things related? But I don't know. I think it was a little weird that Rhaenyra never fought in the war to start with. I mean, that's a George problem. And then they gotta somehow maintain that in the show. I would just have Rhaenyra fighting all over the place. Why not? I don't understand it, but it's I don't remember Sheepstealer being in Fire and Blood. Am I crazy? Yes, you're crazy. Sheepstealer is definitely in Fire and Blood. Just anything with Nettles. Nettles rides Sheepstealer. Sheepstealer. I liked the Sheepstealer look. It was unique. Very different looking dragon. I will say Sheepstealer's Underbite makes him my second favorite dragon after Caraxes. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that like just any dragon that looks unusual that makes them stick out from the rest, makes them a kind of memorable dragon. And I think that's why people like Caraxes with the long neck and people like Sheepstealer with this big underbite. The rest of them, they just kind of, I can't really tell the difference between many of them. Whether like, how does Moondancer look different from, Arax? I don't know. Grey Ghost. How does Grey Ghost look different from Silverwing? But yeah, I'm digging. I dig in the look. It's a very goofy, kind of crazy look to it, but it's just different and rough and interesting. I don't know, Carmine. You liking? I know you were like, huh? All those teeth going every which direction is weird. But what I don't know. What do you think of the dragon?
Sheepstealer?
Yeah.
Cool design. George was right several years ago when he said almost every dragon is unique and different instead of just being Drogon in different color palettes, which is what Danny's other dragons were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aemond is a creep. I can't believe he wants his mother. Yeah, well, I mean, he's just been a weirdo from the beginning, right? Doesn't he also want his sister? Or he was just like, I will do my duty. Was Rhaenyra quoting Elizabeth I word for word really necessary? What quote is this?
I may have the feeble body of a woman, but the spirit and heart of a king.
Oh, really? That's an Elizabeth? I did not know that. Because you were talking about how that line doesn't really feel like Rhaenyra.
It's kind of cringe. Like, it's one of those things where you don't need to say it; we can see it.
Yeah, Elizabeth I says, "I know I have the body, but of a weak, feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king." Yeah, it doesn't. I think you're right that like the line before I knew it was Elizabeth, and I did not know this. I did not know this quote from Elizabeth, but it just didn't seem like anything Rhaenyra would say. And Carmine and I were talking earlier today about how it was just a weird a weird line, especially considering that Rhaenyra is kind of a strong character, like you'd you kind of imagine that if like Rhaenyra and say Aegon were in a fight, like that somehow Rhaenyra would win. Like she just seems strong,
Oh,
like Emma Darcy, and
yeah. No, Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra, they seem like they could fuck up the other, like most of the male cast. Like Emma
right.
Darcy could definitely beat up the actor for Jace. She could definitely beat the fuck out of
Right. If this were
Helena,
doing it, saying the line or something, maybe I'd believe it. But like the characters we have are so like strong and fierce, so it's really hard for me to believe that Rhaenyra would just say that line. It just doesn't seem like her. Finally read Fever Dream. Very surprised you never did a full video series review on it. Was it just the time commitment, or did you feel that the themes were just a little on the nose? Love from Australia. No, I mean, I had planned on it, and then I just never got around to it. I think I'm talking like something that occurred like 6 or 7 years ago. I'd even written a script for like part 1 of it, and I never got around to writing even any more. I remember I'd re-listened to it 5 or 6 years ago and was thinking a lot about it. Are the themes a little on the nose? Well, yeah, but it's amazing that how I go back and forth about heavy-handed allegory, because on the one hand, if you don't make it heavy-handed, people are like, no, you're totally reading into shit. And I'm like, I don't know, am I, because people tell me all the time, like, oh, you're reading into shit. It's not there. And you're like, really? Like, Daenerys leading a army of castrated men is not like there's nothing to that, or something. Like that's just random, like, oh, okay. Like there's no statement being made. No. Someone will deny it. So with Fever Dream, yeah, it's pretty overwhelming that the vampire mortal stand-in or vampire human stand-in is the same as the white to black stand-in, and that Sour Billy, being there's the white black, there's also the upper class, lower class kind of stand-in as well. But like Sour Billy wanting to become a vampire, it being a statement on white trash wanting to be part of the elite in America, and how like the elite will never take you. Don't fool yourself. Just like the vampires will never take you. You can't change to be a vampire in the Fever Dream universe and stuff like that. And going through the whole thing, like him believing the villain believing that vampires are the master race and everybody else should be their slaves and subjugated to them. And, that eventually leading to the protagonist fully realizing that slavery is wrong, and that it's not an issue to just be on the sidelines for. Yeah, it's pretty damn obvious. The characters even say the shit. Like it's not even subtext. It's straight up text. But at the same time, Trey, I knew Trey. Hey, I knew there couldn't be a discussion about Fever Dream without you coming in.
What? We're talking about Fever Dream?
Yes, I got a question on Fever Dream.
Holy shit! Let me hear it. Let me see this question. Finally, I've had Fever Dream. I never did a full video review of it. It's a great book. I was rereading it. I was doing like work around the apartment, and I was listening to the audiobook again. It still holds up.
It still holds up. Book. It's great. But he was saying like, do you think the themes are a little bit too on the nose? And I was like, yeah, they're totally heavy-handed. It's very obvious. It's not even subtext. It's like it's straight up text. Like the characters say everything. Like Abner Marsh is just at the end is just like, well, all this talk about these vampires makes me realize slavery is bad. You know, like it's not hidden at all. But then I was like, how do I feel about heavy-handed allegory? Because sometimes I'll make fun of it in sci-fi, because sci-fi is so heavy-handed with their allegories. But at the same time, if you're not heavy-handed, so many people just fucking miss it or deny it. You know, they deny that the author is doing it. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so obvious. And they're just like, no, you're reading into it. They weren't thinking about that. And I was like, oh. So,
it's almost refreshing because you're right. It is very the slavery abolition like theme is very heavy. Like Damon, like there's a part where Damon Julian brings it up. He's like, "Your country of yours is really torn up about this slavery thing." It's very like almost forced into dialogue in some places. Like the part that I recently read was like Marsh talking to Tommy or something, like the freed slave who works as like his cook.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know, I never supported slavery, like, but I you know, like I keep to my own. He's like, that's fine, right? That's okay. And like the guy's like, I don't like what do you want me to say? Like it's a very heavy theme in the story. But I think it works. It works. Like sometimes, like I'm like sick of subtext. Sometimes like. Just have it fucking out in the open. Like,
well, I mean, it's amazing to me, like, because it's amazing to me, for example, like something that's take Starship Troopers, the movie. Okay. There could not be a more obvious, like movie where they were like, this is a fascist, like government. And the bad guys are the good guys. The good guys are the bad guys. You're not supposed to like these people, even though we're presenting them as the protagonists. It's sarcastic. Like, and some people still fucking miss it. Like they still fucking miss that they're like literally walking around in Nazi uniforms. Like, and they're just like, that people miss the fact that the humans in the Starship Troopers universe are Nazis, and that this is a criticism of the source material, that the guy that made the movie was like, the source material is shit. like fuck this guy. I'm going to make a sarcastic fucking movie ripping the goddamn source material. By the way, what I'm talking about, because many people have seen the movie Starship Troopers, but many people don't know about the book. But the book straight up earnestly believes that that, you know, that people shouldn't get citizenship and shouldn't have full rights unless they participate in the military. That everyone ought to have mandatory military service and stuff like that. And you shouldn't get full citizenship until, like, he writes it like this is a fucking good thing, because then people have buy-in into the state and like understand the costs and all their freedoms and stuff like that. Like straight up right-wing jingoist fucking bullshit. And you know, when they wrote Starship Troopers, they're just like, whoa, I can't believe I've got to fight. Like they want to adapt this shit. And he's just like, you know what? Let's adapt it sarcastically. And it is such a fucking wonderful movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Cause it's just, man, oh man, perfect. Near perfect.
You have Nazi Neil Patrick Harris walk out, and he's like,
"Oh, I know."
He's like, "It's afraid.
It's afraid." Like obviously, like, what is it? What does it feel? God. It's afraid. Yeah. So, Fever Dream, is it heavy-handed? Yes, but will they get it? I mean, the thing is, I think some people probably would miss the sour Billy, white trash wanting to be
slave owner. Like,
yeah, like wanting, like the white trash wanting to be part of the elite, and how the elite will never fucking have you because you're fucking white trash. Like feeling, I think people would probably miss that, even though it's pretty heavy.
I could totally see. Like if it's ever adapted into anything, I could totally see an adaptation not getting the oddly, disturbingly sympathetic part of Sour Billy, that you relate to him in the story, even though he is like a terrible, horrible, horrible person. But you still you're like, this is a somewhat sympathetic character because you understand why he is the way that he is. Like I could totally see an adaptation not doing that, just messing that up.
even bringing it back to like House of the Dragon, like Nettles, for example, was was to me a pretty obvious like stand-in for this is a brown skinned person who has to like rely on her abilities above like the hereditary aspect of all the Targaryens and what's been given to them, and but at the same time, and how it was such an important part of the narrative. But apparently, House of the Dragon was just like, well, she's just not important. Let's just cut her out. Like,
You're just gonna cut this character out.
Cut this character. This very essential thematic statement about like the Targaryens, a bunch of fucking racist Nazis, and this is the character that up jumps, uses sheep to get on dragons instead of her genetics.
Let me get this straight. You wanna put an interesting character like that in House of the Dragon?
I know.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. This sixth grade book reports. Come on, Trey. What did you think of the episode?
Oh, it was good. It was there's some weird decisions and stuff. I wanted to come on. First thing I thought of with Preston was nobody knows how to write in Westeros with ink. Do you notice that, Preston? When Alicent is writing the message to send to her uncle or whatever, she immediately rolls it up. She pulls the Brienne.
She pulls the
Brienne.
This is the fun. Like this is the hilarious thing of like Brienne like writes this wonderful page and then immediately turns the next page onto the ink and ruins the whole fucking thing.
There's a brief hint there that Ormond knows Alicent is behind that. If this is a thing,
he's pink letter. He's doing the pink letter.
He's
he
checked the wax. He checked the wax.
This is something that Alicent has always done as a kid, because in later episodes you will see that Alicent knows about Ormond. She knows a couple of things. If apparently Ormond knows that Alicent sucks at writing letters with ink and stuff, then they've never established that, but it makes it seem like that in that one scene. Because he notices.
But he flicks the the right? Doesn't he do that?
Yeah, he looks at the wax and what is he smelling? By the way, is he like doing like?
I thought maybe
what is the character?
I thought maybe he's a druggie.
No. It's funny because you and this guy Noah in the comments said the same thing. I like Ormond's cocaine inhaler. It's not a cocaine inhaler. It gets answered in later episodes. I can tell you both privately. I don't want to spoil it for the audience.
Is it incense or something? Is it like he's particularly religious? Like it looks like an incense.
It's incense. Yeah, I'll message you on Discord.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, there was some interest there. Like the who's the wet blanket character? You used the term wet blanket
Rhaena. Yeah,
Rhaena, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be even more of a wet blanket now. She's
I know now that she like fucked it up, and now they're gonna blame everything on her. Maybe.
Like, damn it. The action was pretty cool. I gotta say the action was cool.
I liked my favorite scene was actually the canyon scene where they're like going through the canyon.
Yeah.
I just thought it was filmed really interestingly, like the shots up from the water and like it just being something new. They've never done anything like that. Like when you think like, okay, shooting a bunch of fire at each other and people stabbing each other and blood shooting out in fountains, like we've seen all that, but we've never seen a scene like the one where they're going through the canyon together. And on that chase. And so I really appreciate that, it being creative and new. So that was my favorite scene. Though Carmine's like, he keeps being like, how much could those, like the 4 Lannisters they throw into the water really weigh?
So okay, I messaged Trey privately. I'm like, Trey, has that ever been referred to as armor in medieval times? And I even messaged that other guy that you and I retweet every now and then, a late night show. You know that guy, right?
Mm. Yeah.
And even he was like, I can't really concretely say like if that's something they did. There's no real evidence of it, but apparently it happens in Ice and Fire in the Quentin chapter, right, Preston?
Okay.
Yeah, they've mentioned it's mentioned once in Ice and Fire. He calls his armor a kit. Like we did some research today about the history of the word kit. Apparently, in the Middle Ages and late Middle Ages, kit had a completely different meaning. It meant like a container. It was not until like the late 1700s that kit meant like a bunch of shit that you bring with you that comes is part of a set.
I associate it with Wild West stuff. I've heard it in like American Wild West things like kit and stuff. Like, yeah.
So I mean, you know, whatever. It's
a
fine.
Minor choice.
I mean, Westeros is filled with a whole bunch of language from the 1900s that sounds old timey. Therefore, we use it. Because if it was the real Middle Ages, we wouldn't know what the fuck they were saying. Like, you know, like.
Trey, did you hear the thing I was telling you? Like how Philosophy Tube can't yell. Like they're a bad yeller. Like some people just can't yell back. Like
I was primed for it because you told me about it. I wasn't as bothered as by it as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah. I think she was fine. As Lohar, like that she was getting more and more reckless and just wanted revenge and stuff. I will say I was like confused. So did the Lannister? What's it? The two twins. Like I know that the first twin died. Like they had the off-screen battle. They pulled a Tyrion. They pulled a Green Fork, right? Where they killed. They had this because they hyped up the lions. Remember that they had the lions in the cage.
And I saw the dead lion. Right.
Just didn't get to see that. Just like it's like the elephants. Like I'm thinking about like the final season of Game of Thrones where they're like hyping up the war elephants, and they're like, "Sorry, we couldn't bring the war elephants." It's like, then why did you introduce them? Why'd you bring them up at all? If you like, did you have a discussion with HBO's budget guy and just like, we can't do the lions, we can't do the elephants,
can't do the lions.
Then just like, don't bring them up. Don't bring them up. It's my pet peeve. Just don't bring it up if you're not gonna use them.
I mean, this is like. It's like bringing up ice cream to a toddler and then telling them that you're not going to get it. Like, hey, do you want ice cream? Yeah. We don't have any. Like, wait, like, what are you fucking doing? Like, what are you doing? Don't do that.
Preston, I don't know if you remember this. I actually had the idea that what I thought was going to happen was when they put out the promo pictures for House of the Dragon Season 3, one of the first ones was Daemon and Oscar Tully, and they had like this surprised look on their face, like, whoa, something crazy just happened. I thought that Jason Lannister was going to unleash lions on them, and the lions just turn on Jason instead and just eat his ass in front of...
That'd be
far too interesting. Instead, we get the winter wolves slowly walking out of the forest.
That was some bullshit. I hated that too. I hated that as well.
You guys are crazy. It's so cool.
Yes. How did an army sneak up on them? How did the army sneak up on them? Like that's my pet peeve. Like why is Daemon on the ground? Why is Daemon fighting on the ground? He's like the one guy with a dragon and he's wasting it. Like he should be
That's what I do all the time. Scouting. Like in war, like you take your fighter jet. You land it, and then the pilot gets out and just starts fighting. And then
it was stupid.
Like that's what you should do.
Because they're also like, oh, like we have the winter wolves sneak up on us. Like, fuck, they're not gonna sneak up on you. They're like a couple hundred guys, right? Like there should be outriders and scouts. Like in a real battle, you have people pursuing because they're like, oh, like the Lannisters escape. You have people pursue them. You don't just give up.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right that like realistically, Caraxes would be going around just eating, eating.
Yeah.
Bodies.
Wait a second. His whole thing is that we need to go after Jason Lannister. And he's like, we gotta go after Jason Lannister. Why is he not on his dragon trying to go after him right then? Like, why is he this dragon that can fly way faster than a horse is not being utilized?
Nope.
He's tired.
I don't know where he is. Right. It's because Daemon is on the ground, like bloodied, as if he was on the ground fighting, chopping bodies, like doing the work, like doing the work of a God, what's the Dothraki? The Dothraki deathmen that go around killing
the Jacarams.
The Jacaran, yeah. Or what? It's like going around like a Jacaran, like slitting people's throats. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? This is like
that's stupid.
Just
There's some stupid stuff.
Just so you can be there when some dudes come out of the woods. What if it were somebody else? Maybe it was like Jason Lannister's other army. They would run out of the woods and then kill him. Get him an Oscar right there. Like,
you know why they can have Daemon on Caraxes, so the Winter Wolves could sneak up and say that badass line.
It's contrived for the badass line. Like, it's contrived for like, oh, the Northmen, yeah. Like it's for that.
Queen. Yeah.
Oh,
Sam.
Hold on,
Crow.
Preston. Hold on a second. Hold on.
So
the gecko's not there, so I just needed to. Go ahead.
where the fuck is Harold Westerling? I do not know. Like, Harold Westerling, for some reason, they kept him alive. House of the Dragon has kept him alive, and then kept him, like, had him quit nobly. Like, even though Kingsguard can't quit, but, you know, and they specifically talk about how Kingsguard can't quit in Game of Thrones era. But Harold Westerling has quit the fucking Kingsguard to do something awesome, and we are waiting. We are waiting for Harold Westerling to do something fucking awesome.
They're bringing back Maegor. They're bringing up Maelor or whatever. Like, that's that whole thing that George complained about. It's coming back now.
It's coming back. I mean, Carmine, any eyes on Harold Westerling?
There were rumors that he was supposed to appear this season, and I don't know if those rumors came with other rumors that said he was spotted on set. I didn't see anything like that, but there were rumors that he was supposed to appear this season. I'm not going to spoil it for the audience, but I'll message it to you privately.
I thought that random guy in green was Daron and got very excited, and it wasn't. It was just some random squire.
Yeah,
was it?
Carmine sends me the answer to, like, is Winds gonna come out this year? Like, it's just like, is Harold Westerling gonna arrive? Harold Westerling has got a copy of the Winds of Winter, and when he arrives.
Great, check your Discord.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm checking my Discord. Okay,
that's where the fucking. How I'm late. So how do you rate the episode? I would say that the second half of the episode is 9 out of 10. Like, it is great. Second half of the episode is 9 out of 10. I would say the first half of the episode is 5 out of 10. So that averages to 7 out of 10. Is that where you put the episode? 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10. Yeah, it was good action. It was good action.
It was a great battle. It was great. One of the best battles.
Very exciting battle. A lot of visually cool stuff. It changes. You get changes. It's not just one thing all the way through. Mm-hmm. I like the Alicent Aemon scene, and the Alicent actress just, like, nails, like, with a single, like, look, she just nails, like, holy shit, this kid's crazy.
Carmine and joking, we've been joking about poker faced Alicent. Like, oh man, poker faced Alicent. Aemon cannot tell that something is wrong with that look on her face.
Preston during the
commentary. That's Alicent in all moments.
What was the chimpanzee?
Everything's fine. I was in the Kingswood. Poker face.
What was the chimpanzee analogy you made?
Oh, this is like, I was saying, like, it's like, imagine you're watching one of those, like, Disney Channel fucking farce things, and, like, the kids have, like, somehow brought home a chimpanzee, and they, like, put him in the closet, and their dad comes down, and the dad's like, hey guys, what you up to? And they're like, nothing, Dad, everything's fine, nothing's in the closet, we're just playing video games. And the dad's like, okay. And then they're like, and then there's some loud crash, and he's like, what's that? And they're like, oh, I'm just feeling really sick, Dad. And the dad's like, okay, I've got to go to work. And you're just like, it's like farce, you're just like, how would anyone in the real world, like, fall for that shit? Like, that's Alicent's. It's okay. Like anyone in the real world would look at her face and be like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what is wrong with you?
Where were you, brother? I was in the Kingswood, Aemond. Okay.
Don't kill me. Yes, I'm gonna romantically kiss you. Very great.
Oh my god.
Poker face, Allison.
I hated the Ulf backstory, the Ulf Sap story backstory. Like,
it's just Varys' story, right?
Just Varys' story. It's just like, okay.
Varys' story without the mutilation.
Oh, right. Did he just get fucked?
I have no idea. I think he just got a bit of blood.
What's your opinion on the Greenman, Preston?
Another sighting, right?
Another sighting, like it's Sasquatch.
I mean, I think by the end of the series, we're just gonna have fucking them walking around as regular characters. You know? It's gonna be like what happened with the White Walkers. Like at first they were mysterious, and then at the end they're just like, then they're just walking around in their costumes in the daylight, getting attacked by our boys so that they can capture a white or whatever, you know.
I sent you an actual screenshot from the episode of what they look like, Preston, on Facebook and YouTube, Trey.
Yeah, you saw behind the scenes stuff of this, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just straight up a magical creature. Oh my gosh, the like deer legs. Yeah, the sclema, what is it? The werewood branches thing is just
Here he is. Yeah. Broad daylight. See,
so they're real. These are not visions either. These are just real, right?
Right. Like before you could say it was nighttime, Daemon was seeing shit. But now you're just like, well, no, that's just a fucking green man. It's broad daylight. We've seen them. They're satyrs with some horns.
I don't know about that one, George.
I was going to ask you. Whoever is in charge. What did you call these things? They're satyrs.
That's what Preston said. Yeah, like satyrs, like from Greek mythology, like fawns. Yeah, with the goat legs. Yeah. I don't know why are you doing this? I don't know why they want to do this.
I don't know. I don't know how it can be added to this. Like what can be added to the story through it. But yeah, a satyr like here, Carmine. This is what a satyr looks like. You know, they got their goat legs.
Oh, it's the I forgot the name of the guy. It's the goat guy from Narnia. The goat boy.
Yeah, he's a satyr. Yes. Yeah. Here's the thing: is I can never see George R.R. Martin doing that in A Song of Ice and Fire. I will bet money up that George R.R. Martin would never do that. Like that's just not. It's too. Satyr is the type of things that George would hate.
Oh, absolutely, but it's also like it's too expected, right?
Yeah,
like it's just
it's exactly what you expect him to look like.
Right. So like using giants as the examples, right? Like we heard about giants. We heard all of these stories about giants. And then when we saw them, they were Sasquatches, right? Like that's like the George R. Martin, like rug pull.
And he was like that their bodies are proportioned in a way that makes sense for anatomically. Like he cares about the science. Like, especially biology. He definitely cares about biology stuff. And evolution stuff. So I can never really see, like he gets hung up on the dragons with the limb number and stuff, and like how would a hominid?
He really hung up on those fucking dragons, and you know, right? The people have been fucking him over on that since the first Hedge Knight comic book. But you know,
the one thing I'm expecting him to be flipping out about, but that NDA probably keeps him from saying shit is Aegon and Viserys, Rhaenyra's sons, missing from the battle, because he complained about Maelor the missing, but those two were missing as well.
It's a pretty big deal that they're not mentioned. It would have been it would have been a cool scene because like I say, like I don't know if Philosophy Tube and Thailand had enough to do, like them catching the Viserys and Aegon flying back and all of that would have been exciting, but it would have been another dragon they would have had to animate. People would have been like, "Who's Aegon the Third?" What you know?
Yeah.
Which by the way, Daron hears about his brother dying and doesn't give a fuck. Like right? They just, I mean, granted, they're far away and he wasn't raised with them, but like he's straight up sitting there and they're just like, yeah, so Aegon's dead and Aemon's king. Okay. Go wash this boy up. And they're like, go wash up this boy who's totally not Daron. Doesn't have any reaction to his brother being dead. I interpreted the Elizabeth line as Rhaenyra being pissed and saying what she thinks others think of her. The weak, feeble part. The thing is, the only person in the room is Mysaria and like a handmaiden. I don't think like would anyone care about that? Right? Like if she were saying it to like her room of male advisors or something, and maybe I could buy something like that. But the problem is that she's saying it to a rando, like the woman who changes her chamber pot literally, and Mysaria, who definitely doesn't believe that kind of shit. Like like Mysaria, who would be 100% feminist on this. So I don't. That's I could maybe buy that argument if she were in the room with a bunch of men, but she's not. She's in the room with two women, one of whom is fucking irrelevant.
Is that she cut up the dress? Was that just her being like, I hate my femininity, like I hate being a woman, like when she stabbed the dress?
Maybe. I guess that's how to interpret. I can't think of any other way to interpret it.
Right. It's just like it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing for her to do in that situation. Like it's a little on the nose, like why?
Right. It's such a weird line because it concedes that men are stronger than women, which is like the odd thing, right? Like, saying like, oh, I still have the heart of a man, even though I have the body of a woman. Like it concedes both the external body strength and the internal strength that men are stronger in both regards. She's, the line is saying, I have a weak body, but I'm unusual in that I have a heart of a man. So it concedes that like women, generally speaking, would be weaker physically on the outside and on the inside, which is just such a weird fucking line. It's a weird line it's weird enough that Elizabeth said that bullshit. Rhaenyra saying it just doesn't seem so let down how they get rid of Jason off screen, killed my jolly rich boy. At least they made it look like Tyland survived. R.I.P. Laurent Marbrand. They're definitely gonna have Tyland survive. Tyland is too important to the story for Tyland to die at that point.
This is a pet peeve of mine in the episode. They bring up the armor thing that like you should wear armor on boats. And then they're going to have like multiple characters survive when they fell into the water wearing
that
armor.
Is weird because he's specifically like, what about that armor, which is going to make you sink, right? I mean, granted, it is like, how much does that armor weigh or whatever, but the armor weighs like 50 pounds. I mean, that's how much armor weighs. But like the human body is the heavier thing by far. But yeah. Is it
the thing is like they bring it up and then they have three characters fall into water and not die because they have the Lannister, then they have Alan, really, right? Alan, and then they have Corlys all fall into the water with armor, and then all three of them are gonna survive, right? Like it's like, oh man.
Did Lauren didn't die, did he, in this episode? I mean, granted, they're going to be pretty pissed at him for locking Rhaenyra in the room, but Lauren
he should be executed. Like
He
All those
should
guys should be just executed next episode.
He should be, but
Yeah,
I
no,
know
I
that
think
I
he
know that
died.
like in the source material he's killed during the riots, but like, will they just kill him next episode? Will they execute him for disobeying his queen next episode? It would make sense. Yeah. Like Jace's line doesn't fucking make sense, unless he is executed, because Jace's line is like, your life for her is like, you have to do this shit to save her. Yes, you're going to be executed. I mean, you're right that Jace's line doesn't make sense unless he's going to be executed.
Unless he's killed.
And that he's killed himself. He's effectively killing himself to save Rhaenyra in this moment. So we'll see. I mean, we don't see him killed on screen, but maybe next episode he's going to die. Are we really so desperate for dialogue that we have to plagiarize Elizabeth the First Tilbury speech? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we've talked about this enough that it was a really fucking lame line. It's a lame line from Elizabeth. It's a lame line from Rhaenyra. Just did my annual watch of Brienne, Gender, and the Squishers. Thank you very much for it, Preston. Oh, thank you. It's actually, maybe I should do a rewatch of it sometime. There's I do really appreciate the Brienne story in Feast, that George put so much time and so much thought into it, compared to a lot of the stories. It's a very, very tight arc, where you can just kind of see that it was planned out, and which surprises me because I do feel like George probably extended the length of it somewhat in order to fill out A Feast for Crows, because you're kind of filling out both of them, A Dance with Dragons and A Feast for Crows. But look back at the when a lot of the chapters were written. Let's see. A Feast for Crows, June. Let's see. Yeah, he only gets
all the characters she met during those arcs. Illifer, the Penniless, and Nimble Dick, and they're all attached to her relationship to men and distrustful of men and not being able to trust people. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, good and stuff, I do appreciate that it's like it switches from this like searching for Sansa story out to Cracklaw Point, and then becomes a searching for Arya story on the way back. Really kind of like fun little switches like that. But not to mention like the parallels to Bran going north to the cave of the Three-Eyed Crow, and her backstory and everything in that. It seems like he actually wrote the first 3 Brienne chapters and then kind of wrote the last 5 as like a big clump, which would make sense. If I were to say any chapters meander, it's the first 3 where she's just like, here's the High Septon and here's Illifer the Penniless, and this is it doesn't really become her story by itself until the second half. But I do appreciate it. It's very tough. Yeah. I miss the gecko. Oh, the show? Yeah. Yes, here I am. I'm back in Washington, D.C. Maybe you guys recognize my environment. We're no longer in my apartment in Santo Domingo. Here I'm in this comfy, homey environment here, with no, that's Carmine trying to make a gecko sound.
I'm sorry. There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, who knows? Have the time to expand this out. I'm looking at my office. I'm like, man, I could make this into a proper podcast studio if only any of my guests lived in my fucking city. But Trey lives in Atlanta and Carmine lives in Kansas. So But next time you guys are in DC, we'll have our live podcast.
Yeah, like that,
Justin left Santo Domingo
I go to
just in
DC.
time for the captivate to Cuba. Just in time.
Yeah, we'll see. There was a massive fire in Dominican Republic after I left. Massive.
Oh shit.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, a whole like resort burned down in
Really? Did they? Huh.
Yeah, you can look up Dominican Republic fire. It's like
very tall, large, bald man seen running away from the scene. Huh. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, a whole resort
That's
burned
bad.
down. It's huge.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah, and one person died, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised only one because it's just like I think this picture like shows it even worse. Like just goes on and on. Like it's huge. Like thousands of people evacuated, but only one person died. How would you do a Fever Dream adaptation? Oh my god.
Oh.
I mean, the problem is, doesn't HBO own the rights? Like, so
I think they do because they own the rights to everything except Night Flyers, right?
Night Flyers, and like for some reason, In the Lost Lands got out, and I don't know how.
Max, but HBO. All right, so let's see. Does not own the right. Okay, this is Google, the AI overview. HBO does not own the rights to novel Fever Dream. Maybe they will have to. It's fully owned by the author himself. I don't know if this is accurate though. This might not be accurate.
Right? Who knows? Who knows what whatever Gemini Grok, whoever that is.
Is this his dream project? A Collider article. I wrote the screenplay myself. Dream project has nothing to do with Westeros. Is a clickbait title. What does this say? Is this Fever Dream adaptation? He okay. This is 2025. Unless this is like a recycled interview. He pointed out that Fever Dream was the one he wanted to see an adaptation of the most. So he wants to do a Fever Dream adaptation.
I mean, he wants to do it, right?
George R.R. Martin has written a screenplay for Fever Dream. He has, really? If he has plans to adapt Fever Dream, Martin divulged that he had a deal with Disney many years ago. Disney adapting Fever Dream? That's weird.
I don't know about that.
Had a deal with Disney many years ago. Well, it fell apart. He wrote a screenplay for it, and now the book rights. It now has the book rights and the rights to the screenplay. As a creator who has undoubtedly suffered from other people interpreting and adapting his work, Martin is very firm. He wants the adaptation be made. This is very post-Condal, I can tell. You're revealed that it's in talks with at least 3 directors on potentially adapting the project. Oh,
Trey, that's the same interview where he kind of throws shade at Condal. It's also the interview where he's they just got back from the premiere of In the Lost Lands. That's the one. That's exactly that. One.
Yeah. He's too optimistic here.
All right, you want to see this dream cast that someone made here?
Yeah, sure.
This is what they said. The dream cast.
John Goodman is awful. God awful.
He's too old.
He's too old. And John Goodman's almost too nice. You need somebody more grumpy.
Yeah. Damon Julian.
Joshua York. I
don't think like. I understand what they did for Homelander, but like, he's not quite. Damon Julian's got to be perfectly pretty, like perfectly.
Yeah.
Not ruggedly handsome, perfectly pretty. The same with Tom Hiddleston. Like they would need like younger, smoother skin actors, and like Sour Billy, Dominic.
This is awful, Sour Billy. Awful Sour Billy casting.
You
need Theon.
You thinking John Goodman is too nice? You've never seen 10 Cloverfield Street Lane where he plays.
No, I have seen 10 where he is, but he's sympathetic in that too. He's somebody that has like an anger issues. Like Abner Marsh needs to be a big grumpy old man. Like he needs to be like Clint Eastwood kind of. Like he needs like I know Clint Eastwood doesn't physically fit him, but he needs to be like a really intimidating, scary looking guy. And I just associate John Goodman with Sully or from Monsters Inc. and stuff and Fred Flintstone, like
what about
oh yeah, he did play that.
What about
I like that.
For there's our Abner Marsh.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I was thinking Jude Law for Joshua York, but that's
if he were younger.
If he was younger, he's getting too old now.
Look
at this. What is this? What is this? Is this Fever Dream? No, this is not. Yeah, who would be Damon Julian? I'm thinking of. Like, yeah, it's weird. They can't be too young, but they can't be too old either. Is the thing with the vampire characters.
You'd go like Timothy Chalamet kind of stuff.
Yeah, like you need somebody late 20s, early 30s. You can't do too early in the 20s because they look too young, and then you can't do too late because they're too old.
Yeah, but someone like Timothy Chalamet would probably work pretty well. But Timothy Chalamet might be too small because I think you also want your Damon Julian to be like tall and tall.
Jacob Elordi, the Frankenstein guy. Have him be freakishly tall. Who do you have for Joshua York?
How about for Joshua York?
You do Austin Superman? Butler for somebody.
The guy who plays Superman.
I could see Austin Butler as somebody. I'm getting like Tom Holland and stuff. I look up late 20s actors.
Please don't. You know who would be a great? If you do Tom Holland, his girlfriend's got to come in there too somehow.
Oh, Zendaya. Wait, no. Okay, here we go. We got here we go. Okay, Jesse Plemons as Sour Billy.
Jesse Plemons? Holy shit!
No, he would work. That would work.
He would work. He would
really work.
He's played similar characters.
But or Jesse, like Jesse from the guy who played Jesse would work too. They would all
Billy Skarsgård as what's his name, as Damon Julian maybe.
Yeah, I could see Billy Skarsgård. He's got that crazy but like vampire look to him. Yeah, I could see that.
Is it Barry Coogan? Who's like the Irish?
There he is. Like some
Barry Coogan.
If you got him. But the thing is like all of this is like, if you cast this now, like production and everything, it would take forever. But there's a million people out there that, but yeah, it'd be great.
That's funny that George was legitimately thinking he could get a Fever Dream adaptation. The Lost Lands probably killed it. You're right. They're just like, we're not going to make any money off of things that are not Game of Thrones.
Lost Lands completely and utterly shit the bed by having Mila Jovovich and her husband Paul W.S. Anderson do it. Paul W.S. Anderson hasn't had a successful anything in 20 years. I think the last time he had something.
This is what's really shitty. I feel Mila Jovovich, unfortunately, she's a really good actress. All right, she's really fucking good, and she's a great action star. And the fact that she's wasted her talent on the Resident Evil. Granted, I understand that the Hollywood is sexist and horrible, and the shelf life of women isn't that high. But when you think of like the roles she's had, even just taking The Fifth Element and like her performance in The Fifth Element, like she's fucking great. And after that, she just became this joke. Like, she could have been.
I never saw her in the Joan of Arc movie. You're right. She could have been a Sigourney Weaver. Where she could have been just like a whole bunch of. Yeah. And then she got sucked into Resident Evil.
Mixed it up. Had she actually like done a more dramatic, roles, or maybe she did and they just all bombed. But you know, she's a good
She
actor.
should have done one Resident. She should have done one Resident Evil and then moved on, right? That probably would have saved her career. But she the thing is, she got stuck in Resident Evil, and then that soiled her name as the series went shitty.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
She's in Hellboy. Oh, she was in the new Hellboy. Ew. No wonder.
Ew. Paul W. Anderson has not done a single good thing since Event Horizon, which I really like. But even then, you could say Mortal Kombat.
Movie. Event Horizon's great.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Let me. He's got to have something. What a great.
The last thing he did that I really liked was Event Horizon '97. Trey has not lived in a world where Paul W. Anderson was successful. Popular.
I'm gonna say
my introduction to him was the Resident Evil franchise, and me and my old roommate watched all the movies over a weekend, and it was really funny. Oh, he made that Pompeii movie. He made that Pompeii movie with Kit Harington. Oh my god, he ruins careers. If you're cast in one of his movies, you're done for.
I see what I mean. You see what's going on with his career. Okay, we'll put this on the screen for people because poor guy. I mean, we shouldn't say poor guy. Like he got to marry and have sex with me, like Mila Jovovich, but like he did Mortal Kombat, fucking brilliant movie. Event Horizon, brilliant movie. He's on his way up and up. Soldier, forgettable. The Sight, forgettable. Resident Evil. First Resident Evil's okay. Alien vs. Predator, I have a soft spot for it. I think it's okay. And then it's just downhill from there.
It's just downhill.
Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Death Race, which is pretty shit. Resident Evil Afterlife. They gave him this shot. They're like, okay, here's a real movie. Three Musketeers. Nope. Another Resident Evil. Pompeii. Nope. Another Resident Evil. A movie that is pretty much just fucking Resident Evil. And then another movie that's pretty much just fucking evil. Oh my god. And then goodbye.
Then he hasn't done anything since.
Well,
I feel so bad for George. Every time any of his adaptations, other than Game of Thrones, gets put on screen, it just doesn't.
It is a shame because you can kind of tell he wants to be known for other things other than the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, because
and he probably should. He probably
should. I think his other stuff's great. His other stuff's great, but everyone's just like, shut up and write dragons.
But his other stuff is also weird. Let's be honest. How do you adapt in The House of the Worm or Meat House Man? Let's be real here. How do you put that on screen? Don't. That's kind of weird.
Fever Dream, you might be able to put on like a series or something like that. Like it might work. You can make it like like how people really liked race, kind of like racism, like stuff. Like this was a couple of years ago. I'm thinking about like the Watchmen HBO series. Like people kind of like that. You got like an audience there that's like it's like the commentary on modern politics and stuff. You could get it. I don't know. It's the most normal George R.R. Martin story. As weird
it is funny though to think like having seen the both adaptations of Night Flyers and how much they dialed back the weirdness of those stories for the adaptations. Like there's not they like removed the whole like psychiatrists fucking their patients to have stronger telepathic connections. Like, they removed a lot of like just the weird shit in that. I guess they kept some of it, but I think they kept the transgender clone thing. But I don't know. They made the characters more likable, relatable, that kind of stuff. But but you're right. Like everything.
His sci-fi stuff is too weird. His sci-fi stuff's too weird. You're right. Jane cheese and
it's weird how it works with like why does say like taking something simple, why does say incest work with like the fantasy stories, but it doesn't work with the sci-fi stories, Is it this idea that like, oh well, in the past there was some incest, or while like you don't want to be thinking about the future being filled with incest? I don't know. It's
I think you might like because in the past they didn't understand like what incest could really the dangers of incest in the past,
mm,
and like so like in the future people are aware of that stuff and they're not going to do it because people are educated in the future
yeah,
with
it's true.
science.
This is why like Star Trek is so like people like Star Trek because they're like, oh, everybody's educated in the future and they realize shit and they worked things out and it's great, But
Yeah.
no. The
And yes, to the person in the comments, yes, you can do Fever Dream. HBO has done a Southern vampire story before with True Blood. They could definitely do it.
Or like
Probably won't do it
that
now.
Lovecraft Country. Remember that Lovecraft Country show? Remember that? Like similar to that.
Preston and I
They've done
briefly
like
covered
similar
it.
things where you handle topics of race with like
But
historical.
I think you guys are correct, even though it's not really fair because it's not like Night Flyers and In the Lost Land were really given a fair shake because they weren't. It's not like they really put in full budget and was like, let's really do this thing right. They did shoestring budgets, sci-fi original shit, like, and they're like, this is George R.R. Martin, like trying to take advantage of the fact that it has George R.R. Martin
his
on
name.
it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
George's name turns out like by itself doesn't do anything. It's like, people will go see
Trey, you know what George needs? He
What?
needs one of these like Gen Z YouTubers to make a movie out of one of his stories because it seems to be working. Backrooms, obsession.
Yeah.
It seems to be working.
You get like what would be the cheapest George R. Martin story that you could adapt? You do one where it's just a guy in a room. You could Pear-Shaped Man should be real easy. Horror movie. Horror movies do well all the time, and they're low budget. Like Pear-Shaped Man would be pretty solid.
You're gonna do like Monkey Business or whatever.
Monkey Business. Yeah, short film, student short film, Monkey Business would be good. Like George should just be like selling these out just to anybody. Just get who
boring
cares?
ones like Needleman. The one about the guys at the bar with the Nova.
Oh fuck! Closing Time. Nobody touched Closing Time. What's the one? Portraits of His Children. That'd be a real cheap one to make. A little slight horror movie. Some of these should be real cheap to make. They cost less than $1 million to.
I mean, I don't think you like it wouldn't. Like doing Song for Leo would not cost very much. Like realistically,
no.
You'd have like one expensive set where they go down and look at a big tub of Jello, and then that's it. Like it's just
yeah, it's not like Tough Voyaging where every single time you have to have a big CGI budget. Yeah, you just have the.
I mean, in the House of the Worm, it's mostly like a dude in a hallway. Like, I mean, the beginning would be some sets, but like it wouldn't be that. In the House of the Worm would not be expensive, but no. To be fair about that line, my understanding is that Elizabeth I wasn't really that good, and her reputation is mainly revisionist history. I mean, isn't every great leader revisionist history? Were there actually any good leaders, or were they all kind of sucky? That's my real.
You could say that about literally any. You say that George Washington or Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar. You could say that about anybody. I think Queen Elizabeth was a pretty solid monarch. In order for you to like rule for that amount of time, and for your country to be also successful at the same time, you have to have some. You have to have, at least who to put in the right bureaucratic like lanes. Like that takes a level of skill in bureaucracy. Like. I think Queen Elizabeth. How long was Queen Elizabeth's reign? Like the first, not the second. Maybe the first.
Yeah.
44-year reign rule in late Renaissance, like in Renaissance, like Europe. That's a big deal,
Right, knowing who to trust and knowing who to delegate things to and stuff like that, like.
This is Age of Exploration stuff.
Right.
Church of England
like
being established.
honestly, had Sir Francis Drake come in front of me and like requested an amount of money to go explore and shit, I would have been like, you're a piece of shit. I'm not giving you I'm giving you nothing. But she like somehow saw something in him and it worked out. Like there's a lot of things like that.
Yeah, and her reign was not an easy one. Where there was many rebellions and many wars that she had to like steer the country through and survive. Yeah. I don't
Especially as a
think Queen
female,
Elizabeth was
as a female leader and all that. So
right. A female leader that it has no husband, like that is yeah. I think I actually Benjamin Good. I think you're wrong. I think this is totally unwarranted.
Maybe people back then, like
here.
we think the line is really stupid, but maybe people back then are just like, oh, what a fucking awesome line. She accepts that she has a feeble body with the heart of a king. Oh yeah. Maybe.
Like, yeah, I agree that the line is a sexist line. It is a very old timey, that men and women are different in the way that they think and stuff. Women cannot handle violence or something like that. Kind of thought process.
Nettles is Damon's bastard. That's why they've merged. I don't think there's anything. Is there anything in the text that implies that Nettles is Damon's bastard? Maybe
I don't know. I was waiting for you to get to this because I think it, like, the whole point of it, I think, is that she's not related to the Targaryens at all. That's the important part of her character, right? Is that she has no genetic relationship. She is totally.
I mean, that's my belief. I think some people might read into the fact that like they want to believe that Daemon was true to Rhaenyra. And so why would he be interested and infatuated with Nettles had she, if not romantically, well then it's in a paternal sense. And this idea that a man can have a paternal relationship to a woman that is that he's not related to is somehow unimaginable to people, despite this being the plot of Punky Brewster. I mean, like, people can watch Punky Brewster and no one thinks that the dude in Punky Brewster was trying to molest Punky Brewster. It was just like a legitimate situation where he's adopted this daughter, right?
I don't understand why it can't just be an adopted daughter too. Because people are probably taking this line where Norrin wrote that Daemon doted on Nettles as a man might dote on his daughter. But could it not be like an adopted daughter? Does it have to be like a biological daughter?
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is the sense that like all, and this is how kind of obsessed like humanity is with like, I mean, I would say modern American society with pedophilia. But like when Punky Brewster came out, I don't remember any jokes. I still don't remember any jokes today about like Henry like diddling Punky Brewster, but if that came out today, I feel like everyone would be like, what's with this old man and this little girl? Like, can a man have a non-sexual relationship with a woman that he's not related to? Can Daemon feel fatherly towards someone who he's not actually related to? Why not? But I mean, is there anything other than he doted on her like a daughter to imply that she was actually his bastard?
I don't think so. I don't think it's ever stated in Fire and Blood. Beyond that, I gotta let my cat out.
I mean, it says she grew up on the streets of Spicetown and Hull. Yeah, I can't find anything in Fire and Blood. It just says she's a bastard on uncertain birth. So I mean, that's it. Damon Nettles is not. There's nothing in the text that says that Nettles is Damon's bastard. There's nothing in the text where any of the characters suspect that Nettles was Damon's bastard. Only the fans, only fan theory has put forward that Nettles could be Damon's bastard, and I think it's only put forward because it's difficult for people to accept that a man could feel paternal towards a woman that he's not related to.
Yeah.
Which
men
feel paternal towards women that they're not related to all the fucking time. Like all the fucking time. Like this happens. Like lots of people in the working world have all people have coaches. Lots of women have coaches. Lots of women have teachers. Lots of women have what are the word in the working world? You'd say mentors. Lots of people have mentors. So I think it's completely possible that he just mentored this girl. He thought she was really awesome.
Preston, I feel like I'm going crazy. Check the thing I just sent you. I just sent to you on Facebook. I don't know if you want to put that up on screen, but IGN just gave the episode a 10
fuck
out
off.
of 10.
What?
A 10 out of 10? Really? A 10?
No.
Fuck off.
10 out of 10. Like, what's a 10
This is
out
what
of 10
people
Game
do
of Thrones
nowadays.
episode?
I mean,
10 Game of Thrones
not only
episodes
10 out of 10, but 10 out of 10 Philosophy Tube. Philosophy Tube and Damon. What if fucking Damon during this?
The two strongest parts of the episode.
Two strongest parts. Not fucking Corlys and his son. Any of that. Not the incredible ending scene of Jace. Admit it's the second half is very good. The ending very powerful, very well done ending. The ending is like the effects of the dragon in the water.
Listen to this. Listen to the review. Damon being a badass. What did Damon do that was a badass in this episode?
He was barely in it.
Badass.
He was barely in it. He was killing injured people.
He was stabbing injured red shirts. That's all he was doing.
Wait, they actually? I haven't read the article yet.
Yeah,
I just saw the.
Yeah, read this. We got dragons in action. Ships sinking and burning. Laurys and Aemond and Aegon and Cole being awful. And Alan and Corlys and Damon being badass.
First of all, Cole was not awful in this episode at all. Cole was
just painting his shield. He was just
painting his shield and despondent. He wasn't awful at all. Like, did this person see the fucking episode?
This is some AI.
Yeah, and also
fuck this intern.
Laurys and Aemond. Laurys wasn't even that awful in this episode. Laurys wasn't
awful.
Aemond was awful in the sense that he made out with his mom, but that's about it.
Aegon really wasn't that awful. Aegon just refused to kneel.
I guess that Corlys was bad,
but Damon was
very careful here because I just did an interview with IGN a couple days ago, so I don't want them to get on my case. But
this
IGN,
sucks. This is like that who's that guy with the big baggy shorts that gave the Phantom Menace a glowing review? Who's that fucking guy that nerd guy?
I don't know. Rich Evans? Who are you talking about? Oh,
Clerks.
Silent Bob.
Who's that fucking guy? Kevin Smith. This is like Kevin Smith giving the Phantom Menace a thumbs up. Like fuck you.
He was giving Rise of Skywalker a thumbs up too.
Saw early screenings. I published an incredibly positive review.
That's just ridiculous.
He said the Jedi slice stars made them look like fucking pimp. This is his review. I'm finding his review. Fuck this guy. Yeah. This is like them where it's just like nobody in their right mind would be like 10 out of 10. Like, come on. No. Especially not the first half.
And let's be real here. We're not saying it's a bad episode, but
no, it's a pretty good episode.
It's too much.
It's not 10 out of 10.
Too much.
like 10. It would be 10 out of 10 if like these battles were having kind of characters that we were really invested in, you know,
Right.
like. Because if House of the Dragon were always like this, it wouldn't just be just match Game of Thrones. It would outshine all but a handful of episodes. See, the problem with House of the Dragons is it has nowhere near the attachment you have to a lot of the characters as Game of Thrones. So I don't know. Come on, IGN.
And
This is what
I
everybody does
remember-
nowadays.
I remember
Huh?
there's this fucking ridiculous episode of it might be that horrible Jerry Seinfeld show where he drives around with cars and coffee.
Comedians
yeah.
in cars getting coffee.
What a fucking horrible thing where he pretends to laugh at everything.
Gives them all these softballs.
Yeah. Anyway, there was this at some point he's with Eddie Murphy, and somebody asks them who they think the best comic of all time is, and Jerry Seinfeld says Bernie Mac, and Eddie Murphy just fucking starts laughing, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, really? And this is what was very funny is he goes,
Bernie Mac.
He goes Bernie Mac, and he says, not, he says,
fuck Jerry Seinfeld.
But he's just like, he says, who's the one from the 60s that everyone talks about?
Like
Richard
like Rodney
Pryor?
Dangerfield, or
No,
or
not
the
Richard,
one
not
before
Richard
him?
Pryor, not the Jewish
the one
guy
that cursed a lot.
who would say the N-word.
Kinnison?
No, Lenny Bruce.
Oh,
So he goes, Eddie Murphy is just like, really? He goes, not Lenny Bruce, not Richard Pryor, not George Carlin, fucking Bernie Mac, really? Like, he's just like laughing at him, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, you don't think Bernie Mac's funny? He's like, Bernie Mac's hilarious. He's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. Bernie Mac is hilarious. He's just not the fucking funniest comic of all time. Like, that is ridiculous. Like no one would say that. Like, he's just like, just ripped into Seinfeld, and Seinfeld didn't know what to say. Like, why on earth would you fucking choose Bernie Mac as the greatest comic of all time? You know
what it is, Preston?
Did he choose it because his guest was a black guy? Is that why he did it? Is that
But he couldn't. But why wouldn't you choose Richard Pryor?
Comedians.
Like
Because he doesn't know many black comedians.
like the go-to three greatest comics of all time
Richard Pryor.
is they usually say Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, right? They usually say those three if you're going to talk about the greatest comics of all time. It's just kind of like, if you're going to say the greatest movie of all time, you say Citizen Kane, right? Or The Godfather Part 2. Like, it's just one of those things that you're going to hear, right? And then, but yeah, just 10 out of 10, guys. 10 out of 10 this episode.
Trey, you're so right. Like nuance in these discussions are so gone. It's either you love something so much, it's an 11 out of 10, or it's the worst thing since Hitler. Like, there's no level of nuance here, like, at all. It's so Damon,
like, everybody does
I'm
really
reading it now. Damon, stop.
Like, they upvote. This is what they do, is like they upvote. Like, what's like the recent, like, when a show ends and everybody's like making it try to like beat Breaking Bad or whatever, and then like Breaking Bad tries to downvote them. It's like, you're right, today, like, it has to be like the best thing I've ever seen. It has to be the best. Nobody is ever capable of, yeah, it was good. It's fine.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good action, but there's some, some slow scenes. And
C-Mix asks me what my favorite places to eat, drink in DC are. And this is what's sad, is that like the places that like I would recommend have all closed down like years ago. There's Turnover. Since the places I'd recommend, like I would have been like, oh, you got to go to Pasta Mia, or you got to go to Malaysia Kopitiam, or all these things are gone now. However, some things that are still left, okay, that everyone should check out, that I think is let me look up if it's still around. It is. Okay.
Hell yeah.
This restaurant in Silver Spring, it's called Mandalay, is one of the best restaurants I've ever been to. And it's still open, barely gets any business. It's a Burmese restaurant. It's fucking incredible. It's called Mandalay. Everyone should go there. If you're in DC. I mean, the problem is that
do you want in or out? Are you in or out, buddy?
how am I gonna get a picture of this one? How come? Okay.
You're either in or you're out. You're either in or you're out, buddy.
All right. This place, Mandalay, is one of the greatest restaurants of all time. There's a really good if you're talking about something downtown, Sichuan Pavilion Sichuan Pavilion is still open. Sichuan Pavilion is still open downtown. It's incredible. You go in, it's only Chinese people. It's really fucking good Sichuan food. And that's downtown DC. So unlike Farragut North, Farragut West kind of area. That's incredible restaurant. Mandalay, Sichuan Pavilion. I'm trying to think of like all of the Ethiopian places are kind of the same and they're all good. So I can't recommend like a specific Ethiopian place, but if you're in DC, you need to get Ethiopian, because that's like there's more people that, like, it's the second largest Ethiopian population outside of, after Addis Ababa. There's more Ethiopians living in DC than any other city in the world, including in Ethiopia. So like you got to get Ethiopian if you're in DC. Mandalay and Silver Spring.
Preston is not doing a thing. He is not. This is something he's also said to me. Like Preston said, like, hey, if we ever meet up in DC, I'm taking you here. And all I could think of, like, no burger places, bro. No, like, maybe I'm just boring, but
yeah, I mean, they got burger places. Like, first of all, like, there's things about DC that they say, oh, you got to get, and I'm just like, it's not that great. Like, it's not that great. like getting a
so
like the DC sausage is called a half smoke. Not that great. You don't need to get it.
Well, to the super chatter, I hope he's not picky, because you're recommending like all these like fantastic places, and homeboy probably just wanted a burger, like a nice burger spot or a nice pizza spot or something.
you can fucking go to a Five Guys or a fucking. It's fine. It's great. Those are great burgers. It's fine. It's whatever. It's a burger.
But this Ethiopian food, though. Whew.
I'm just saying, if you're in DC, and then people will talk about Ben's Chili Bowl all the time. Like, Ben's Chili Bowl is this iconic fucking restaurant on U Street. And it's like, yes, it's iconic. There's a lot of history to fucking U Street and keep in mind that, like, there were riots in DC in the 60s where a lot of the city got burned down. And Ben's Chili Bowl survived. It's very historic. It's one of the last things on U Street. U Street used to be this very vibrant black community back in the day, and then it burned down. Now it's a going out, very gay area of town. It's not anything like it used to be. It's fancy schmancy now. But Ben's Chili Bowl. Would I ever say Ben's Chili Bowl is fucking fantastic food? No. Like, it's fine. It's fucking fine.
Ben's Chili.
Oh, Ben's Chili Bowl is iconic DC place. Iconic.
See this. Oh, it's beautiful. This beautiful storefront. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. You go inside, there's a sign on the wall that says only two people eat for free: Bill Cosby and Barack Obama. Like,
I don't know about that. I don't know
guy
about one of
fucking
those.
still loves. He will never turn on Bill Cosby. He will never fucking turn on Bill Cosby. But and like Ben's Chili Bowl is the kind of place if you go enough, you're gonna run into Dave Chappelle. Like, because Dave Chappelle, every time he goes back to DC, like hits up Ben's Chili Bowl. Like, that's kind of thing. Like, but it's not that great. It's not that great. It's like, or like say like, oh, you got to get like a jumbo slice if you're out like in Adams Morgan or whatever. Jumbo slice isn't that good. Like, don't. Or Amsterdam falafel. Like, yeah, it's like, so. Well, but when you're talking like really good like places, like I cannot, like I would recommend Sichuan Pavilion. I'd recommend Mandalay. I'd recommend any Ethiopian place. They're
I've
all
gone to that one diner. There's like this one diner in DC that a friend took me to. It sucked. It wasn't that good. It was diner food, you know.
Diner food. It's like whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of Jose Andres restaurants in DC, and they're all really good. So if you go to Jaleo, for example, Jaleo is really fucking good Spanish food. Zantina, if you're talking about like fancy shit, but like Jaleo is kind of an iconic DC place that's like very good. Like I say, Jose Andres has a huge presence in the city. But places to drink, the places like a lot of the bars I hung out at and stuff like shut down, you know? So, you know, I could say that like the Big Hunt it's gone. Like this iconic place. Is the Raven still around? I don't know. That was iconic. I guess
Bob and Edith's Diner. You ever gone to this, Preston?
I haven't. No.
No. Okay, I was just wondering if it was small or not.
You know, there's Sushi Toro. People go to. It's like a really nice sushi place. But like must go to places. I don't know. It's hard. I can say like, oh, Rocket Bar is really fun to go to in Chinatown. It's, you know, a little divey. But a lot of people go to like L'Oreal Plaza is really fun to go to get margaritas, but it's not great food. I don't know. A lot of people say, oh, you got to go to Madam's Organ and Adams. If you're into live music, Madam's Organ is pretty fun. Some people say, but it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. I can talk forever. About DC. It's weird having a city that I know better than anywhere else. Like, I understand, like some people grow up someplace and, you know, but I know how to get everywhere walking. I know how to get everywhere driving. I know how to get everywhere by bus. I know how to get everywhere by metro. Like you know it. You know the city really, really well. And you know what places what used to be there, like what iteration of stuff was there before. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to remember different things like that. But I mean, there's a lot of, you know, like I said, there's a lot of turnover in the restaurants, but they're all good. Sir Laurent has a more complex understanding of his Kingsguard oath than Jaime. Oh, to save the monarch from themselves.
Jaime says that about in like the meeting, right, to the Kingsguard, that like sometimes you need to protect the monarch from themselves, but he uses it when it's like a child, you know. Yeah,
it's true. But he feels like he ought to have done it. Like he ought to have intervened, you know, in his abuse against his Rhaena and stuff like that. So I mean, he understands the conflict. So Preston, you should do your next show from the reflecting pool. I'm trying to think logistically if I could get that. How would I get on Wi-Fi? But mean, I guess he could, just be like, with my phone, here I am at the reflecting pool.
With the National Guards trying to keep you away from it.
Trying to people
right?
get
Isn't that what's going on right
arrested,
now?
like the Olympian guy. Can't believe I think right wing media, they're legitimately putting him down as like the vandal. Even they had to legitimately like for 2 weeks be like, there is no problem with the reflecting pool, and then like, oh, vandal is the one that did it. I thought there was no problem with it.
Has there ever been a so
who
you've lived in DC for a long time? Is this like a thing that has just never happened before with the reflecting pool?
The reflecting pool has always been like, like dark and muddy. Like it's always kind of been like dark and muddy. And there was I want to say about 10 years ago, they did replace the bottom and made it, because it used to just be like shitty, cheap cement. And they replaced it with like marble or something, or at least some other like stone. Maybe they replaced it with stone. At least around the edges. But it was just like cheap cement. And so, but it's always just been dirty, like, and like muddy, because it's a huge fucking pool, like any other pond, any other, like, it's enormous. You can't keep it clean, and there's trees, there's leaves flying in it constantly. Like it's constantly dirty, right? So like trying to have a situation where it's some sort of crystal clear blue thing, like at a resort or something. It was a fool's errand to begin with. It's too fucking big. It's too big. So of course, like, it doesn't work. I think, I've heard a million explanations on like what went wrong. Sometimes they're like, well, because it was so big, the sealant shrinks, which is fine for like a pool size situation, but because it's so large, it shatters or whatever. Some people say it was the hydrogen peroxide, but
this sucks. I'm looking at this right now. Trump resurfacing the concrete bottom of the pool in a color he called American flag blue. Like, why? Why even change it? Nobody. Were people asking for this? Was anybody asking for, like, why?
And it's like the ballroom. I mean, he wants to leave a legacy. He's so obsessed with himself. So it's just like the arch and the ballroom and the reflecting pool. I mean, he's just fucking destroying everything, right? Can't do anything right. But plus, it was also a bribe. It was like a donor of his. He gave the contract to. No bid contract.
Wow.
Hi, Preston. What channels, content, etc. gets your brain going on theories? Is there anything in the show you consider adding to the fanfic? SO to your channel for not being wiki entries. Shout out to your channel for not being wiki entries. Thanks. Oh yeah. So on the channel's content, keep in mind that besides Carmine, I don't watch anybody. No, I watch Glitus when he comes out with videos on like food or whatever, a horse. I like that kind of deep dive and stuff. But besides Carmine, I don't watch any other YouTube channels on Ice and Fire. Like that,
Yeah.
like, so I don't know about.
There's a lot of
wiki
entries is what this there's tons and tons of channels that are just wiki entries. And
so like, I was thinking about, there was this YouTuber called Punk Rock MBA, and he for years he actually like didn't really know anything about music, or not that much about music, and so he would just like do a video on bands and would just do the wiki entry, like go through and summarize the wiki. And he ended up having a pretty successful channel. And then all of a sudden he like admitted that he wasn't really into the music and like quit. And he's just like, I'm just going to do like LinkedIn stuff and advise people on how to like grow their YouTube channels. And everyone felt betrayed, and he just kind of disappeared. It's really weird because he had a very successful. But I think some people are like, I guess it was a grind to him. He didn't really like it. He did it for many, many years, but he didn't like it, which Which is weird because there's like another channel where it's like this bass teacher who he clearly was not into punk rock before, but he's getting into it and he loves playing bass, and now he like fucking has this great channel. I can tell you can tell he's having a great time. And that's the thing about YouTube. Like, you can grind and, you know, make money and stuff, but like, you're supposed to be having a good time or putting out art that you like, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, if you're just grinding and summarizing YouTube channel, like summarizing Wikipedia, or, you know, you go on Reddit and you summarize a Reddit thing that you saw, like, I don't know what you're doing. Are you enjoying it? Like, you know,
I've had this conversation with friends that want to be YouTubers, especially younger people that want to be YouTubers, and they're like, how do I become a YouTuber? It's like, first, like, you don't do it for money. You do it for your passion. I think that's the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
And
The
they don't
money
want a lot
comes-
of people
You
don't
can
understand.
do it for money, but it'll be a grind like anything else, you know?
I hear about Jimmy Beast. Jimmy Beast is like miserable, where he like feels like he doesn't create art because he doesn't. Like, he feels empty. He has all this money, but he also feels he's.
But it's all
trash.
he really ever cared about. So on the one hand, like, he is doing what he cared about, which was just grow the channel for the sake of it. But at the same time, he produces absolute trash. Like,
he produces like what is the thing? His most popular video where he got his start. He's like counting up to 100,000 or something like that in front of a camera. It's just him. It's like literally paint drying on the wall. Like, man, like I don't understand people like that. People like that, I just will never understand. I will never understand. I think you're soulless, you know. Like, but some people, they do it just for the money, you know. They don't care.
Preston,
about the
you
quality.
get this question every now and then relating to theories, and the sad reality of it is that we just hit a milestone in the Ice and Fire fandom. Trey knows what I'm talking about, because they've been posting it all over social media, that the time it took for all the original 5 books to come out is now eclipsed by the Winds of Winter, waiting for the Winds of Winter. And there has been no new material. So therefore, because this person really wanted to know your thought process on theories, because you're the theory guy, but there's nothing new to talk about. And all these new YouTubers covering Ice and Fire now, they're not saying anything new. So
right. Like, I do think that there are realms of Ice and Fire that have not been touched by anyone. Like, for example, I don't think there has ever been a good theory on Roose Bolton and like Ramsay Bolton and like what they were doing, and making sense of his actions throughout the story. I don't think anyone has ever sat down and gone through it and come up with a very good, like, compelling theory. There's a lot of things like that in the series. I think there's room to do more theories, but one, no one's willing to do it like anymore. But two, like, theory crafting, it's hard when it's very clear there's no book coming out. Like, hard to be excited about a theory when you will never know the result. So that's the sad thing.
I feel that, like, I basically would have this, not that the super chatter was asking me, but I pretty much have the same answer you do. The only other Ice and Fire YouTuber that I watch besides you was this other person who was actually reading the books, but then of course they got a copyright notice from Penguin Random House. So
David Reed's David Reed's The Song of Ice and Fire. He's great.
Actually, no, that was a while ago. Alex of the Rhoynar, she has this nice British accent, and I kind of like listening to the Brits read British, fantasy. And she got a copyright claim from Penguin Random House, so she had to take it all down. But no, I agree with you. Like, there's not really anybody else out there doing Ice and Fire content that really makes me go, huh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's all just people trying to, like, insert the Winds of Winter in the title of every video. So
I do like how Phil the Issues guys, like, came in, was like, because Phil and I are around the same age, so like we definitely watched the same shows, like all of the same shows. So Phil chimes in, is like, Henry was just a good guy. He's just a good guy that cared about Punky, like, you guys are too young to know Punky Brewster.
What is that referencing?
Oh, Punky Brewster was the show. This is the thing is back in the day, you didn't need shows to have like these huge gimmicks. Punky Brewster was just a girl who was adopted by an old man named Henry, and her name was Punky Brewster. That was it. Her name was Punky. Like the whole premise of the show is the girl's name was Punky. Like there was nothing else really, and she dressed a little colorful. And it was a big hit. It was a big hit show. And everyone knows like Salole Moonfry. She grew up and then she had to get a breast reduction surgery because her boobs are too big and stuff like this. Everybody knows.
I've never heard of this show ever. I've heard of Golden Girls, like shows from the 80s that were popular, like Golden Girls, Cheers. I've heard of these shows. Never heard of Punky Brewster. Never heard of it.
Every time I turn around, I see the girl who turned my world around, standing there. Oh, Punky Brewster! It's a fine show. There's an episode where her friend like gets locked in an old refrigerator, and they have to rescue her. You know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's very clean. It's a very clean, show.
Unoffensive.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Punky Brewster. See, some things you guys probably don't know about Silver Spoons or lots of things.
What's the thing that Marty McFly, like what he had to start
Ties.
in? Like
Family
Ties. They just mass produce these sitcom shows.
Family Ties was a little different where the plot of it, the premise of it is that the parents are two hippies who are now raising three children. And he's super conservative. Yeah. And he was just one of the kids. Like each kid has a personality. So like the second girl is pretty but dumb, and the third girl, I don't think she didn't really have much of a personality. But like that was just an aspect of it. But then it became the show. It became because like Michael J. Fox became the star, and then it was like, how are we going to have the conservative and hippie parents like have a conflict?
176 episodes in a film. That is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. And the mother and Michael J. Fox like didn't really get along. It was a big problem.
The actors,
because when a young up and coming star like wants more screen time and all that, and like the whole show starts revolving around the one character. Like it became the Michael J. Fox show, and it's kind of fun, This kind of stuff happens all the time. But I mean, it kind of happened with as I say, Valerie's family, the Hogan family, with who's the guy from Arrested Development. So all sorts.
Oh, Jason Bateman.
Or it happened with Growing Pains, where the whole show is kind of revolving around Kirk Cameron, and then Kirk Cameron becomes a born again Christian, and it's like that steers the show in a whole new direction. You're like, oh fuck, like
or Urkel,
same thing. Like one person goes breakout star. So with bands, when it happens to bands, they just convince the one person to go solo, and then the band breaks up, right? But
yeah.
It's what do you do with these TV shows? Yeah. They should have cut Rhaena. I agree. Boros can still have reasons to say no to Luke, or does he say yes, but Vhagar kills Luke on his way back anyway? Yeah, I mean, there's a million. You could have the Maester put any problem, but yeah, you're right that Rhaena should just like not be in the show at all.
She's a non-character, like even more than
Bela.
Yeah, she's just no character.
Seinfeld doesn't know any black comedians, only high school girls.
Woo.
All right, I got to finish up because I got work tomorrow. I heard Fabian had a crash out over Kristen's writing. Oh yeah, he did. We did talk about that. He was not digging the fact that like they were I don't know, they just weren't giving him anything, or they were making him look bad.
Said there was a clip that came out where he said the writers this season are trying really hard to make the audience hate Kristen Cole. I don't know what he means by that because
I don't, because
I
like
can
this
say
this is like this is like the repair for him. I believe that after seasons 1 and 2, or
you'll have to wait. Here's the thing though, because I watched the first 4. Preston has only seen the first one. There's nothing that he does that's incredibly offensive in any of the first 4 episodes, so it has to be later on in the season because I have no idea what Kristen Cole actor is talking about. So he hasn't done
people already
crazy or
hated the
douchey.
character. Like that's the thing, is people hate this character since season 1. So like, what could he possibly like? How could he get worse? He's a bigoted, homophobe, sexist, hypocrite, like adulterer. Like there's a long list of stuff. I don't know what more he could do for you to hate him.
Trey, is he a homophobe? Like I feel like he did say something.
He's a murderer. He's a murderer. Yeah, he does say a line. They put a line in his mouth that he's a homophobe. Unless that's book only, I'm pretty sure it made it into the show where like they talked about Laenor or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think they did. I think
oh yeah, I think it did get carried over into the show too. Like he just straight up murderer, you know, like
right. He is a horrible person, but you know they're trying to repair him now and just being like, well, life sucks. We're all gonna die. It's like it seems like he's suffering. He's like going through his he's going through his Theon. Like Theon's suffering doesn't really have much to do with like the bad things he did, but somehow in a life penance way, we somehow balance it all out. Whereas Tyland, is he safe? Is he all right? I mean, look, in Game of Thrones, Jaime was dropped into a lake with full armor and somehow came out. Tyland plays a very important role later on. I can't see him dying here, maybe, but
you can't have him die off screen like that too, so unceremoniously, you know.
Right, I kind of feel like they would have showed him drowning, but I don't know. They at least showed Jason's head. So, sorry, Preston, I disagree. I love all Resident Evils. All right, to each their own, but all of them.
They're fun. They're fun movies. They're pretty fun to watch.
I will say that they're well paced. You're never bored. Funny enough, the kids of Family Ties were proto versions of the kids of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, I could see that. You're saying like Carlton, and then the popular girl, and then like the whatever, no personality for the third child. Somewhat, though. In Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she was more snobby, while Mallory is kind of dumb in Family Ties. And the big thing is Mallory's dumb, and then she has a dumb boyfriend named Nick, who became a huge reoccurring character, her big dumb boyfriend. It's so funny because like in TV, they always need to have the siblings be different personalities. Like they always have to have a smart kid and then a dumb kid. And you're like, most of the time, all the kids of the family are dumb or all the kids of the family are smart. You can have occasional dumb sibling, but most of the time, all the siblings are smart and all the siblings are dumb. It's usually not a roll of the dice like that. Because I mean, intelligence is genetic, right? Like you just get it. Oh man, Kirk Cameron lived in a neighborhood. I have stories. I imagine none of them are.
Oh man,
imagine none of them are good. Oh, Hillary's boyfriend Trevor. Oh, really? Hillary's boyfriend Trevor, Fresh Prince, just as dumb. That's funny. All right, fair enough. All right. All right. So thank you, everyone.
Already?
I know. Siblings are like, especially when they're twins. It's funny because, like, you're right that George R.R. Martin likes to have the twins be violently different when, like, you know, that's often not the way, I guess. Okay. Anyway, I gotta get going. I gotta go to bed and and go to work tomorrow, man. Drop off kids at camps and shit. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Carmine. We had a fun time here on House. How do you feel? House of Dragons back. How do you feel? Feel good?
It's exciting. I'm excited to see where things go. See if those leaks are right or not. Biffo Bigstorm.
Oh,
Right, Carmine?
don't even bring that the fuck up. Holy shit, don't even bring that motherfucker up. Oh my god, Preston doesn't know. Thank
It's gonna
Christ.
happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna
Oh
happen.
no! What's Big Storm? What?
Biffo
Big
Bigstorm.
Storm. There was this incredibly. What's funny about Biffo Big Storm leak, Trey, is that the first page of the leak was kind of true. Remember, it involved the dragon.
Yeah, we've
seed
seen
talking
evidence.
to Alice Rivers.
We've seen evidence. We've seen evidence that it seems like it might be true. Like there's no smoking gun just yet, but there's definitely evidence that.
Well,
there's
remember,
signs
I've already
that it might be
seen.
true.
I've already seen the first 4 episodes. I can tell you most of it, except the first page, was bullshit. Most of it was bullshit,
Okay.
except the first page. I
Okay.
can't say anything about Biffo yet. He could appear in episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, but we'll see.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This week I'm going to try to get. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can try to get some video work done. I think people are really going to be upset if I don't know if I'm going to have any time to do Chad. People are going to be really angry at me, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, man. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a bunch.